Look, I got to be honest, guys. I think we're getting better with age.
Really great to see you again at SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, brought to you by McDonald's. You know, there are a few constants in life, but there is one. Nick Saban and Alabama playing for a national championship.
5 times in the last 6 years, Nick Saban and Alabama have played for the national championship in U.S. college football. Though last year, Dan, they did not make the college football playoff. So they actually had something to prove on Monday night against Ohio State in Miami Gardens, Florida, at the Hard Rock Stadium. Devontae Smith won the Heisman last week, just 6'1". Look at the length of his arms. Here he is at his acceptance speech.
To all the young kids out there that's not the biggest, not the strongest, just keep pushing, because I'm not the biggest. I've been doubted a lot just because of my size. And really, it just comes down to you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Great tucks, first play, second quarter. Mac Jones.
Set to the left, tight formation. Jones
Gonna go over the top to Smith, and there he is. Devontae led the FBS in receptions and receiving touchdowns. Later, Najee Harris scores his second touchdown of the game, 29th this season. That is an Alabama and SEC record. Later in the half, Smith already has 2 touchdowns. And again, we're still in the first half. Devontae Smith already 2 touchdowns.
play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
That is Chris Fowley on the call. 12 catches, 3 touchdowns, 215 yards in the first half for the Heisman Trophy winner, an expected first-round pick in the National Football League draft this year. Third quarter, Smith jams his right hand, taking a hit. Left the game after that injury, did not return. Third quarter, Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields, who was so terrific against Trevor Lawrence in Clemson in the semifinal, to Garrett Wilson. Fields' first touchdown of the game. Ohio State pulls within 2 scores. So we thought perhaps we had a game here. Fourth quarter, Smith walking down the hallway under the stadium, can't help but stop to watch his team. Late in the game, he comes back to the sideline for the curtain call. He is out of his gear. That hand is bandaged up. Hopefully he's okay. And Alabama, there was never a doubt. They win by 28 points. And Nick Saban now has the most national titles with his 7th, moving past the legendary Bear Bryant. Alabama's second team to score 50-plus points in a title game, joining USC in 2005. The 52 points were the most that Ohio State has allowed in a bowl game in program history. I apologize to Tessa Bonham. I had to say that. Brampton, Ontario's John Mechie, the third, 8 receptions for 81 yards in this game. It's Nick Saban.
I wanted to win this game for these players because this game was all about what they've done all year long. And I'm just so happy for our team and our players.
It does give you a special mark as well, though. 7 national championships. That's more than any coach that has ever done it, Coach Saban. Are you even able to process what that means?
Not really. I'm just happy that we won tonight. And I really haven't thought about that because you're always looking forward. And I just love this team so much and what they've been able to do. I can't even put it into words.
He seems happier, like a different guy. I guess that's what happens when you win more national championships than any other coach. Devontae Smith, what a monster first half. As we mentioned, the 215 receiving yards, most and a half in a national title game. He had the most receptions in a national championship game. And as we showed you, he didn't really play in the second half. Pretty incredible stuff.
Toronto Raptors with a late one Monday night in Portland, the last of a 4-game Western swing, a trip that had only produced one win through the first 3 games, but the Raps were in those 2 losses, so glimpses. That's what I'm trying to get at. The Raptors have shown glimpses of a team that knows how to win. Toronto 2-7 marks their worst start through 9 games since the 2012-2013 season. Pascal Siakam missed the potential game winner at the buzzer in Sunday's loss to the Warriors and played very well over the last 4 games. First quarter wraps up 10. Siakam, great behind-the-back pass to Chris Boucher. Gets the layup to go plus the foul. Boucher celebrating his 28th birthday. Siakam finished 1 rebound shy of it. No, he finished 1 rebound shy of his first career triple-double Friday against the Kings. Time winding down in the quarter. Siakam gets the jumper to go with the buzzer. Siakam, 12 points, 7 boards, 5 assists in the first quarter.
Siakam's got a dozen.
Second quarter, Montreal's Chris Boucher with a huge swap. East Canner. Boucher had 6 blocks against the Warriors Sunday night. Other end.
Boucher again.
Norm Powell drains the 3.
Here's Norm. Good.
Fred VanVleet spots Boucher.
Great defense on the floor. So he's making an impact.
Who throws it down. Raptors up 5 at the break. Third quarter. Siakam work on Damian Lillard in the post. Siakam kisses it off the glass.
Backing in. Lillard spins
part of a 12-0 Raptors run. But holding leads has been a problem for this Raptors team. Late in the quarter, Siakam grabs his 12th rebound of the game. Finds VanVleet for the triple. Siakam's 9th assist of the game. Fourth quarter, Siakam to OG Anunoby, who hits a 3. Siakam getting the triple-double, first of his career. Remember I said Raptors have a tough time holding leads this season. Well, it also happened in this game. Raptors up 1, final minute, off a miss. Blazers head up court. McCollum spins off VanVleet, gets to the lane, hits the jumper. Blazers up 1, so Raptors, final possession. Ball in the hands of Siakam, just like on Sunday. Cannot get it to fall as the Raptors outscored in the fourth quarter 36-25 as they lose again.
It's been a rough couple of days for the NBA. Players testing positive, games have been postponed, an ominous sign for the start of the NHL season, which is tomorrow. With more, Gino Reda and Frank Saravalli.
Frank, Gary Bettman says it would be cheaper for the owners to shut the door and not play than to play this season. While that may be true in the short term, in fairness, the players are ultimately on the hook to repay the owners for half their losses.
Pretty big point to leave out, Gino. I can tell you this, as Gary Bettman was speaking, ding, my phone started zinging with text messages from players saying, he said what now? Why didn't he point out that us players are covering half of those losses? Because the owners and players split 50-50 of the revenue and also of the losses. So pretty significant thing to point out. And it's almost like in this case, Gary Bettman couldn't help himself but to point that out. We know that the NHL went to the NHLPA in December and late November to try and earn some concessions on this collective bargaining agreement that was negotiated in July. The NHL owners met a dead end. It was either that or try and go through some painful litigation to try and change it. They decided to play on with this season, much to the chagrin of a lot of Gary Bettman's bosses in the team owners. They ultimately voted to unanimously play this season. And yes, there will be losses. Yes, owners will have to cut checks. Gino, I'm not a businessman, just a journalist, but I think it's important to keep in mind here, as people have struggled throughout the pandemic, that no one said in any business that you're guaranteed a profit.
The NHL needs fans in the seats. The Lightning were going to try to have fans in the seats to open the season. Those plans have now changed. The Panthers, Stars, and Coyotes are now the only teams that are still going to try to open with fans.
And when we come back, more NHL news. Corey Perry waived by the Canadiens. Find out why. You're watching Jay and Dan, brought to you by McDonald's on TSN, Canada Sports Leader.
Bucks, Magic, Milwaukee. You guys watching football all weekend?
They have forced 9 out of Orlando. Drew Holiday, long pass. Oh, my. Another on the money pass. Holiday finding Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's amazing. That's Aaron Rodgers stuff right there.
Yeah, Holiday throwing a deep pass into double coverage. Giannis lays it in. Perfect post route for the Greek Freak.
hopefully they win next week. Very happy with
Fourth quarter. Adetokounmpo, tough reverse layup. Drops plus the foul. He had a team like 22 in only 27 minutes after missing one game due to a minor back injury as the Bucks win easily.
Starting to roll now. Sixers Hawks. Joel Embiid dealing with back tightness but forced into action because Philly only had 8 other players available because of COVID issues. He did look great to start though. Little baby hook there, and then the big man showing his always impressive range. In fact, he's shooting almost 50% from beyond the arc this season. Then it's Embiid, the rebound, and the finger roll. 24 and 10 in the first half. That's a good night for anybody. So he ended up leaving pretty quickly in the third quarter and not playing for the rest of the game. Would the Sixers be able to hold off the young Hawks? And by young Hawks, I mean Trae Young. From just inside the logo.
Wow, it's right.
And then attempting the deep three again, blocked by Tyrese Maxey. Young still finished with 26 points. In the third quarter, DeAndre Hunter, let's see if he can hook up with Cam Reddish for an alley. Here we go. No. Let's try that again. No. That was just a replay. That's the only blemish for the Hawks, but we thought it was entertaining. We thought we'd show it to you. Atlanta gets the victory.
Knicks and Hornets. LaMelo Ball became the youngest player in NBA history to get a triple-double on Saturday. He's 19 and change, late first quarter. Off a Knicks miss. Ball launches ball to Gordon Hayward, who had 34 points in this game. Turnaround jumper. One of the rookies, 4 assists in the first half. Ball averaging nearly 6 assists a game this season. Second quarter, Ball steals ball. Patience. Finds a trailing Cody Martin. Hoop in the heart. Cody Martin. One of Ball's 3 steals in the game. Knicks with 10 turnovers in the half. Hornets up 7 at the break.
Well, the other Martin, Cody comes in.
Third quarter.
Got a chance for a 3-point play.
Toronto native R.J. Barrett takes it to the rim. And a two-handed finish. Barrett, 11 points, 9 boards in this game. Late fourth, Ball playing the pick and roll to perfection with Miles Bridges. Plus the foul. Ball finished with 8 points, 7 assists, 14 boards. As the Hornets are rolling, they win their 4th straight. They're having fun.
LaMelo, he might be the best Ball. Yeah, let's go over here and chat about lots of hockey stuff as we get ready for the start of the National Hockey League
All the
season.
teams getting their rosters ready.
Very exciting. Corey Perry, as we told you before the break, has been placed on waivers by the Canadiens. He joined the Habs on a 1-year, $750,000 deal 2 weeks ago. The move comes after defenseman Noah Juulsen was claimed by the Panthers Monday, leading Montreal to protect Victor Mete is part of their 21-man roster, and thereby having to expose Perry on the waiver wire.
Don't have a choice. We could only protect a certain amount of players that's related to the cap and everything else, and afterwards, then you gotta, those other guys have to go on waivers. So it's again, this is something that's happens above me, and it's something that has to happen because of, like I said, our cap situation, I think, allows us right now to protect 21 players.
Yeah, the Canadiens were around 50,000 over the cap. Teams must finalize rosters by 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, so Monday was the final day to place players on waivers and then have that resolved before the deadline.
Coach Julian sounded a little bit like producer Tim when we ask him things. He always says, that happens above me. And then he tells us to leave.
The Canucks return to the ice Monday after canceling practice due to potential COVID-19 exposure on Sunday. Cancellation was due to a player returning a false positive test.
It's a little bit of a wake-up call, too, just making sure that we're doing the right things, and also being the next time it happens, it won't be as big of a surprise. I felt like our group, it was best that we gave them the day off yesterday mentally, too.
Nate Schmidt's fiancée had a little mishap at the airport. Turns out her travel documents weren't in order while in transit from the U.S. on her way to Vancouver.
They closed the doors on her, she was going to stay. All of a sudden, someone had walked out, and she's like running down the jetway to the plane, like had around the door, like they opened the door up. It was legit classic right out of a movie. It was awesome. It was like
just another day.
Another roller coaster day. The emotions of a couple hours, but it ended up working out great. It was just, yeah, it was quite an experience, if you will.
So you settled into the plane, like ready to take this flight on your own, and then
it was like, see ya. We'll see you when I see you, like in a few days, because it was like I had to get here to start my quarantine. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be able to be on the ice for camp, to start. She looked at me, she's like, hey, like, you got to go. And if you don't go, then like you're not gonna be on time for camp. Like, I'll figure it out. We had some friends in Denver. She's like, all right, we'll figure it out. Year of adaptability.
Man, they're gonna love him there. Yeah, they already do.
Braden Holtby, by the way, his reactions very underrated. I like the idea of Braden Holtby as Ed McMahon to Nate Schmidt's Johnny Carson.
Heyo. Canucks play 6 players on waivers, including Sven Baertschi and Louis Eriksson. Eriksson signed through next season at $6 million cap hit.
Also, Travis Hamonic practiced with the Canucks on Monday. The chemistry between Joe Thornton, Mitch Marner, and Austin Matthews is growing on and off the ice. The line generated a couple of goals during the Leafs scrimmage on Saturday that you may have seen on TSN. And following the game, the 23-year-old Matthews and Marner posting this photo to social media. What about the 41-year-old Thornton?
I don't think he has social media. He barely knows anything probably really about social media, so it's great in that aspect. He's just going to go out every day and be the same guy and joke around, and as me and Tony are going to try and do the same. So
I think we all believe if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. But at the same time, Joe's got a great ability that I've seen even in the early going here, just to know when it's time to dig in and get the work done. But most importantly, just to stay focused and not block out the noise.
There you go.
I have a microphone at home. I'm going to send. Don't use your laptop mic. I will send you one.
I will say this, Dan. The Ottawa Senators scrimmaged on Monday. You want to see a microphone and a Zoom setup?
Yes.
Ottawa's winning the Battle of Ontario in terms of the Zooms. Tim Stützle saw his first game action. 3rd overall pick, got on the score sheet, too. Assisted on Derek Stefan's second period goal. The Sens also had a shootout where old Stütz sniped one. DJ Smith heard crystal clear.
You can see his dynamic speed and ability to make plays. And I mean, seeing new systems for the first time, new line mates, new everything, he was exceptional. You see in 3-on-3, he's going to, at the end, he's going to take people out of their seats. It's just a matter of time. I mean, he has to get used to the NHL and how fast it is and how quick the puck can turn over and go the other way. But he did a lot of good things tonight.
Are we going with Stützer?
Stützer? I like Stütz.
Stütz. Okay.
The Flames held their final scrimmage of training camps Monday, and Jake Markstrom, Dan, it's a slow adjustment to his new team. Allowed a couple of goals in this one, 6 goals against in 2 inter-squad games from the offseason free agent who signed that 6-year, $36 million deal. Louis Domingue eventually took over from Markstrom. Red Squad loss. It's all meaningless, but should mention, so fascinating with the waiver wire, right? So Derek Ryan, who signed a 3-year, almost $10 million deal with the Flames just in 2018, put on waivers on Monday. Zach Ronaldo on waivers, Oliver Shillington on waivers.
Mike Smith unveiled part of a new mask for the season, and it features a tribute to Joey Moss. The backplate of Smith's helmet reads, Joey, once an Oiler, always an Oiler. Moss, the beloved locker room attendant for the Oilers and Edmonton football team, held roles with both organizations for more than 30 years. He passed away in October at the age of 57, and this is just the start of many tributes, I'm sure.
You got to believe producer Tim had the best idea that the dressing room will be named after Joey. It has to be.
A banner, you were saying, possibly?
I could see it. I could absolutely see it. He was so important to the team. As someone who grew up in the area, like I knew about him since I was a little kid. Like everybody knew Joey.
And
right?
A statue next to Wainers.
Just throw it right up there. Make it happen, Edmonton. As expected, the Blues have signed Mike Hoffman to a 1-year, $4 million deal. He had already spent 2 weeks of Blues training camp on a PTO. Scored at least 20 goals in 6 straight seasons, had 29 with the Panthers last year, but somewhat mysteriously was really not signed by anybody until the Blues decided to give him that PTO.
And they need goals from him because Vladimir Tarasenko is out with a shoulder injury. He had shoulder surgery. Expected to be reevaluated in February. Jay Bouwmeester, he's retired now. 37-year-old saw his season come to an abrupt end on February 11th of last year when he suffered that terrifying cardiac episode. Played in 1,240 career games. Picked up 424 points. And he won a cup with the Blues in 2019, as well as an Olympic gold medal in 2014. Best part about all this, Bouwmeester, according to Pierre LeBrun, happy and healthy.
How would you know it? He never said anything over the course of his entire career. He was the quietest NHLer, I think, in the history of the NHL. But what a skater. Maybe one of the greatest skaters ever.
He is in the triple gold club. Only 29 players. So that's winner of the cup, Olympic gold, and world championship.
I remember when he was drafted, he was expected to go #1, slipped to 3, and I think for a lot of people they wondered if he was ever going to live up to his potential. But you look at the body of work and everything he's won. Calgary Flames fans obviously love him. Just turned out to be a solid D-man, had a great career. So congrats to him. The Athletic is reporting that San Jose Sharks forward Evander Kane has filed for bankruptcy with debts of approximately $27 million. Kane signed a 7-year, $49 million extension with San Jose back in 2018.
And in his career, he's earned $52 million throughout his 11-year career.
Lots of details that are coming up. I'm not sure what we can talk about, but yeah, the liabilities listed, almost $27 million.
Yeah.
Maybe we had forgotten because up until Sunday, he had never won a playoff game. But Lamar Jackson is still the MVP. And when the Ravens needed him to make a big play with his legs, he did. Just as Daniel Jones did back in Week 7 against the Eagles. Luckily for that run, Jones was mic'd up. All right, I'm going to keep this football. I'm going to run it. Hey, I've got an opening. Look at me. I'm going to score a touchdown. I'm a better quarterback than you ever were, Eli. Oh, f***. Oh, that was emotional, for sure.
Who Delivered, brought to you by McDelivery. Despite missing most of the second half on Monday, Devontae Smith had a monster performance, leading Alabama to a national championship. Heisman Trophy winner, 3 touchdowns, 215 yards in the first half. Smith also broke the SEC record for most career receiving yards on Monday, reaching 3,759 career yards. Smith definitely delivered.
The Eagles have fired their head coach, Doug Peterson, after he compiled a 42-37-1 record in his 5 seasons in Philly. This year, though, major issues surrounding quarterback Carson Wentz, who regressed massively. Peterson also received a ton of criticism after benching Jalen Hurts in the second half of their Week 17 loss to Washington. According to reports, Peterson's departure now increases the chances of Wentz remaining in Philly. Peterson's firing comes 3 years after he led the Eagles to their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Boy, talk about where he was 3 years ago to now. It's really incredible when you think about it.
Eagles offense, 26th in scoring in 2020. Gritty is potentially up for the job.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be great? Couldn't find a headset to fit him, though.
Right, yeah, that's true. And his big paws, those Microsoft Surface tablets, he wouldn't be able to manipulate those things. So,
this is big. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick announced Monday he will not be accepting an invitation to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It was reported on Sunday that President Donald Trump intended to present the honor to Belichick this Thursday. Belichick, in a statement, said after last week's tragic events in Washington, he, quote, would not move forward with the award.
Dan, the Presidential Medal of Freedom established by President Kennedy in 1963, awarded to individuals who have made exceptional contributions to the security of national interests in America. And when you think of people who have made exceptional contributions to the security of national interests in America, you think of New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. So it's unfortunate that he's not able to.
But now people say because he took this stand, he should now really get it.
He probably will. Yeah. Maybe Biden will give it to him. The Bills get set to take on the Ravens in Buffalo's first divisional playoff game since 1996. Their last meeting with Baltimore came in Week 14 of last year, with the Ravens coming out on top 24-17. That was a much different Bills team though. There.
Bill's going to have fans again. They had fans last weekend, so for the second straight week, the team announced Monday that they will have fans in attendance, a limited amount. I think they had around 6,000 on the...
One of those fans, our own producer, Tim.
No, he can't go across the border.
Oh, that's right. He can't cross the border. I forgot about that whole pandemic.
Jams. Pacers, Kings, dying seconds of the game. Aaron Fox.
Fox going to try and go to work. With the
bounces!
Oh, man. He's good. He got up there. Trailblazers, Raptors, Pascal Siakam to Chris Boucher. Canadian! Raptors are 2-8 to start the season, tied with Detroit for the worst record in the NBA.
Knicks Hornets off a New York miss. LaMelo Ball launches to Gordon Hayward, who had a big game.
I'd call that a home run pass.
Like he's out there by himself, like shooting practice.
More from LaMelo.
31-14.
Looks like all that time in Australia was pretty good for him. For him, for Paul Hogan, for the Wiggles. It's LaMelo to Cody Martin. Yeah, LaMelo looks good. And they got Hayward. Hey, Michael Jeffrey Jordan's got something going in Charlotte.
National championship. Ohio State's Justin Fields connects with tight end Jeremy Ruckert. One-handed.
Not a lot of highlights for Tessa Bonham's Ohio State Buckeyes, though.
Correct.
Suns Wizards Bradley Beal. The jumper is off the mark. Mo Wagner, look at it. Collect the rebound, knocks over Dario Saric, and then whips the ball right off of him.
Those are good heads up, Mo.
And the Wizards would recover.
Bucks Magic, Dante DiVincenzo. Ah, there you got it.
Dante.
To Bryn Forbes. 4-3. Was ugly. Made it work, though.
That was actually pretty good. Loves fireworks. Emotional around New Year's Eve and Olympic closing ceremonies. It's the worst late of the day.
And Dotson takes
What happens
off.
here? Jump ball.
We've seen that.
Kyle Anderson is inside the circle. Andre Drummond is trying to help him move outside the circle, and he pushes him down. That's weird.
Dotson off to a cool.
Very strange. Highlight of the night, going to Orlando.
Mamba, and now Gordon.
Been to the airport. That's it. Aaron Gordon.
Throwing out my script.
Trying to take the charge.
Sorry.
To be honest, if he was outside
Nice.
that restricted.
Okay, you blew it. You referenced Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. They were last on the air in 1992, so G-Bone, who put this together, figures no one under the age of 30 gets the reference.
You're probably right, G-Bone.
I wondered how many fans the Bills had on Sunday. They had 6,772, so they'll probably have the same amount this coming weekend. And during the Jannies, you struggled to say Bradley Beal, while I struggled to say Dante DiVincenzo.
Right. Yeah, those are tough names to say. Bradley Beal. Not easy. That's what makes us the best. Because even we struggle sometimes with those tough names.
That's right. But again, just makes you want to be better the next year.
I like the idea of Guy Pizzazz having a podcast with that cat lady.
Oh. I was wondering where you're going with that.